Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Kylie Dahl with the Entrepreneurs Hangout. This is season 3, episode 3. I have so much fun with my podcast. We talk a lot about, entrepreneurship and the good things and bad things about business. And I really try to find interesting guests that can answer your questions and make your lives easier as an entrepreneur. Today, I'm really, really excited to have Ann Carden, sorry, my mouth, on today. And when I was hooked up with Ann on LinkedIn, I was really, really glad because her profile is unbelievable. She's accomplished so much. And she is an author. She is an amazing businesswoman. And I'm just glad to introduce you and tell everybody about you.
Hey, Kylie, thank you so much. Super excited to be here. I always love sharing. This is my give back. So I work with entrepreneurs who are really looking to level things up. They want to up their game, step into the spotlight and sell, and they want to make more money. They want to build more influence in the market and just do bigger things. So help them really scale.
That is awesome. That is awesome. We do love to help people scale and grow. So there you go. So I want to just do this because I always like to give credit where people find each other. How did we find each other? And I think that also goes into the efforts that you put into marketing. Podcasts don't help them by themselves. I think our numbers on LinkedIn are well above 15,000 followers. And that doesn't happen by itself either. It happens with a lot of effort. So just a little bit, and then we're going to talk a little bit like what you've got going on. Let's talk about how we market and how we search and how we find each other. How do we play on LinkedIn together?
Oh, well, I love LinkedIn. It's my playground. First of all, it's such a great place. Even if you don't think your clients are necessarily there, you should still build up your LinkedIn profile and beef it up because it is a search engine and it is a free asset to your business. So I just want to say that it comes up at the top of Google when people search your name, when you have that really optimized in the right way. But yes, Kylie, we found each other on LinkedIn because I have a LinkedIn strategy. I know you have a LinkedIn strategy where we know exactly who we want in our network and who we want to collaborate with and who our people are. And that's really what people can be building up on LinkedIn. So I think first and foremost, know what are you trying to accomplish on LinkedIn? What is it you want to have happen? And a lot of people don't go in with a strategy. And so they're sort of throwing, they go in and they throw content out and they're on there and they're connecting with anyone and everyone that sends them a connection request. And that doesn't really build up a strong, powerful marketing system for you. And so LinkedIn can be a marketing system when you have that strategy behind it, but you want to get clear on what it is you're trying to accomplish.
I agree. And it's also like, I tell people, it's like, listen, sharpen up your picture. You can't have a 20-year-old picture that's on there. This is where you're going to put all your effort. I think LinkedIn, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I think they reached not quite as much as Facebook as far as their membership, but I think it was more than 7 million people. 7 million people are on LinkedIn. And the one thing about it is, for example, some platforms, Facebook, you can have it's free, but LinkedIn, if you're wanting to do serious business, and not that this is for everybody, there's nothing wrong with the free account on LinkedIn. Take advantage of it. But it's again, being intentional about the marketing and about the people that you want to be able to have connections with. And then I think it's like looking at where their connections are. And if you found that this is the person that you're looking for, go in and see who they're connected to. Not spamming them, but then just broaden your horizons, broaden your scope of who you're looking for and why.
Yeah, that's one of the powerful things about LinkedIn is that you actually can work through people. And it is a referral platform. I mean, people are there to do business, and I think that's really important. If you look at other social platforms, we've kind of invaded those, right? Like Instagram and Facebook, and we've kind of taken over those platforms for business, but they weren't created for business. They are
Correct.
created for social. So if you look at LinkedIn, however, it is a business platform. People are there, they're looking for clients, they're looking for referral partners, they're looking for opportunities, maybe they're looking for employees, they're looking for services. And so there are all kinds of things that people are actually looking for being on LinkedIn. And even though it's become more social through the years, where you'll see a lot more personality come into it, it used to be pretty dry and boring,
Yeah.
and now it's a very different platform. So there's definitely a social component in there, but there's so many ways to leverage it and to work through people. And LinkedIn shows you, hey, Kylie and Ann, you guys have, 200 mutual connections. But not only that, you get to see who all of those connections are. It will show you who's the first connection, second. So LinkedIn has done a really great job to really help you try to build your business as well as so many of the wonderful features they have and the tools that they have on there. And we can talk about those too. But first and foremost, think about the power of it.
I agree. I agree. So I want to have it so that my people really have a really good understanding as to where your areas of expertise are. Who's
Mhm.
possibly, I'm just throwing some things out there. Who's an ideal client? I know we're going to talk about your upcoming workshop, which is
Mhm.
wonderful, but just give a little bit about your background, how you got here today, and then I think that that would be super interesting.
Well, thank you for asking. So, I've been an entrepreneur. I've been in business total for over 40 years, business marketing sales, but I've been an entrepreneur for over 34 years. This is my sixth and seventh business that I own now, and I've sold five previous businesses. But I've been coaching for almost 15 years. So, I've worked literally with hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs and business owners, helping them really grow a more profitable, more premium type of business. I like to help people work in the premium market in their industry or in their niche. And so that's the one thing that I do a little bit differently than a lot of other people. But I help people that are really looking to step up their game. They want to level up their business. They want to get better customers, better clients. They want to be seen as the top of their industry, get paid more, and really step into what I like to call the expert spotlight and sell. So when they're doing that, they're just playing a bigger game. It's kind of like the people that you see out there that you really admire and you watch
Mhm.
them and you pay attention to them. That's what I want to help people do so that they really do stand out in their niche or in their industry and they scale.
I like that. I like that. And do you work with both women and men?
I definitely
Great,
do. Yes.
great, great.
Yeah, I kind of have two sides in my business. So I work with people who are really trying to scale up and get into that more premium market, but also grow their revenue, grow their business even into something that they might want to exit someday, as I've been able to sell a lot of businesses. But the other piece of that is someone who has maybe had a lot of success and now they want to step into maybe coaching or consulting and teach other people what they have learned and what they know. So all the strategies, I like to say I'm an A to Z coach.
Mhm.
I have all the strategies and guidance and support that people need to really take that business to those higher levels with premium services, helping them
I love
package, market, sell.
I love it. And are they customized packages? Do you do group? Kind of give a little bit of guidelines of what people could expect of like, hey, I want to engage, but I just need to know a little bit more information.
Yes, so definitely customized, even my group. Everything that I do is very high touch in my business. I don't work with 100 clients. I work with a certain amount of clients at a higher level. And so I do have a group program, but even my masterminds are 6 people. So they're very high touch. They are a customized approach with a small group component. So that would be the way to work with me in group. But I also do things like VIP days where I'll help people map out, I call it their $1 million offer and brand. I will help them map out new strategies for their business, whatever it is they feel like they need. But then I work with people in, in private ways too. But everything that I do is really a customized approach because every person is unique, and I don't like cookie cutter. In fact, I can't stand cookie cutter. I like to take what Kylie is so brilliant at doing, and let's help Kylie build an incredible business and brand around what Kylie's so excellent at doing.
I love that. It's funny because I do this. I'm like, I always used to say, like, have a conversation with me, and we're going to birth you a business, right? If you're that,
Yes.
if your mindset, and I'll let you borrow that, Ann. But if that's your mindset, and with one of my programs, I'm into really, really helping the Department of Corrections, and I've got a flagship program that's build their business, because one of the things that I'm so passionate about and that aches me is the people that think they can't have an entrepreneurial business or their own business, and so they stay in that minimum wage hellhole mindset. And I'm like, no, let's get you out of there. So talk to me, about what is it that you like, and just like you with your clients, you're like, you want to build them up to what they see and who they aspire to be.
Absolutely. I believe that if you've had any kind of life, everyone has skills and knowledge and experience and expertise. And even if you don't want to step into business or being an entrepreneur full time, but you want to build another incredible revenue stream to secure your future, to have stability, to put money away, whatever that is, we have those opportunities today more than ever before. Yeah. And to not really want to do something like that, I'm not real sure why people wouldn't want to, but because I know people think jobs are security, but we have seen clearly they're not, right? And so I just am a believer that, when you can create your own business and you learn how to make money and sell and do all the things that go along with business, you'll never be out of work. You'll never be broke. You'll never, to learn that skill set is also, I think it's going to help you in a career and a job as well to learn that skill set. But I just believe it is the future. And we know that, especially in the United States, this country is built on entrepreneurship.
It is. And you know what? I've always been an entrepreneur. I've never had a real job, whatever that might be, right? My only real job was I bartended, cocktail waitressed, and managed a restaurant for 2 years. And then guess what? I bought it, right? It was just like, that was my quote unquote real job. But the thing of it is that people are so, it's funny. And maybe you and I might get this, but like we see people say, oh my gosh, entrepreneurship and having your own business is so scary. But on the flip side of it, I think today being an employee would be so scary, because at the flip of a switch, no notice, your butt's out of there, and they replace you with somebody else, and you've got nothing.
That's what I said. There's really no security. Yeah, there's no security in a job, and that's why I said, even if you plan on staying in a job, to learn the skill set of being an entrepreneur and learning how to make your own money and make your own way, there is a lot of security in that and a lot of stability in that. And, I was making money when I was 7 and 8 years old, selling craft classes to the neighborhood kids in the basement. And even when I went into corporate for 13 years in retail business management, but I was an entrepreneur. I was running multi-million-dollar departments, but I was creating the events. I was responsible for the revenue and growing that revenue. I was bonused on the revenue. So I was an entrepreneur before I really stepped into full-time entrepreneurship. But all through even my childhood, I knew how to make my own money. I was always selling things. So it's a skill set that I am so thankful I developed. And not that it's easy, right? There's a lot to learning how to grow a business, but so what if it's scary? So what if it's a scary thing? It's going to give you a skill set that you'll have the rest of your life. I think going to college and having $100,000 or $200,000 in debt is way more scary than being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that, because it's like, well, we know that we've got to, and actually I was just at the gym this morning and that was a big thing on the news today about, where it's costing more college, and then, what parents are doing for savings and all that kind of stuff. And we know that kids come out of college today, lots of them. I don't know what the statistics are, right? But it's like, okay, now you have a degree, but what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? Is it actually, I'm going to call it jobbable, right?
Right.
And
In most cases, it's not.
right,
And it used to be
right.
that was a pathway to more income, and it was a pathway to having a better career. I definitely think things have changed, and I do not think it is a pathway anymore to
Mm,
stability or to having a career. My daughter with her degree, she's not even using it and has really never used it. She said, well, yeah, I gained some things from it, but I wouldn't have needed it doing what I'm doing.
right.
She kind of worked her way up the ladder anyway. And then I look at my son, who went to a trade school and got into the tech space. And then as he got into the tech space, and this was kind of a cool thing, as he started climbing the ladder, he said he got to a point in his career where he couldn't go any further without a degree. So they sent him back to school. He got his bachelor's, and then he went back and they sent him back to school. He got his master's, and he did that after he was already in his career, and he didn't pay hardly anything for
Yeah.
that. So there are different paths that you can take now that I think are maybe a better avenue.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. And speaking of that, I'm gonna have to try to maybe find whatever that might look like, a college expert, not counselor, but the thing of it is, I honestly think, and we're going to talk about your workshop, parents are there to guide their children, right? They're to guide them. And if you don't think your kid is doctor material, well then, and he's a welder material, or he or she, man, that's an awesome trade, and they can build a business around that and not come out with $100,000 college debt that's going to take X amount of years to pay off. So it's just something to think about, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that you and I are on the same page on that.
Yeah, I cannot imagine doing anything different now. And my dad was always an entrepreneur, so I think I got it honestly,
Yeah.
in my life. But I just can't imagine, because of the opportunities that we have today, why people wouldn't want to step into this in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form. Yeah.
I agree. Maybe after our podcast, they're going to want to.
Maybe, what was it? What's the saying? And what is the saying? You hear everybody out there talking about, making the $1 million, becoming a
Yeah.
millionaire. And I just remember a quote by Jim Rohn, who said, it's not about becoming a millionaire, that it's not about the money becoming a millionaire. It's about who you become becoming a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah.
so powerful to think about that, because you really do become a different person being an entrepreneur. It builds a lot of character and resilience and perseverance and strength and courage in you. And you mentioned when I hear people say, oh, I'm afraid, I'm like, well, if you're afraid to do this, you're going to be afraid to do anything.
Right.
So, it's going to stop you until you get over that. Fear is going to, I think, fear is going to always stop you if you allow it to. And that's with anything. And I think people hold themselves. So what if you're afraid? So what?
Right.
Do it. Do
Right.
it anyway. Right.
Exactly. I tell people, listen, do business with me, and I'm going to hold your hand and we're going to jump off together.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. So, all right. Now, before we run out of time, let's talk about this workshop that you've got.
Yes, I'm super excited. So as I help people scale, they need great strategies, right? And I love to help them step into the expert spotlight and sell. So this workshop is it's a free 2-day workshop for people that really want to step up their game, and they want a predictable system running virtual events. And they're not traditional virtual events, because they're VIP events, which is very different. Most virtual events, the show rate's bad. People wait for the replays. This is not that kind of an event. This is where you get to select the people coming into the room, and you give at a very high level. And so I have a free 2-day workshop coming up next week, and you can go to expertinyouworkshop.com. And it's really about helping you add 50K to 100K plus months and paydays. So I don't always talk about money all the time, but this is specifically designed to help you add $50,000 to $100,000 or more monthly or even days.
Awesome. I love it. And now, so is this the first time that you've done this particular workshop?
I do some variation. This is the first
Yeah,
time I'm actually teaching my VIP virtual system in this
that's
way.
actually, that's
Yes,
awesome. That's awesome. That's really special. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that in the show notes, everybody knows how to get a hold of you, talk about the workshop, and then, that way they know how to engage with you as well.
sounds
So
great.
I, just this is kind of an interesting. I think it'll help people especially when you and I probably attract a lot of coaches and or people that are in that space. I try to really say that I'm a mentor versus a coach. Why? I don't know. I just chose that. But what do you think, what's the number one thing that you think hold people back from not finding their best them, for not
Mhm.
finding, how to make that extra money and up their game?
I really believe it is just a lack of clarity on what they should be doing, or they know what to do, but they don't know the details to execute. And so even though I work with a lot of business coaches and they know how to build businesses, but it doesn't mean they know how to execute this strategy that I'm getting ready to teach flawlessly. They still don't have the messaging. They don't know how to go out and fill the room. They don't. And so there's a difference in knowing the what to do and really knowing the how to do something. So I think that holds people back more than anything. I think they're like, well, I know what to do. I see it everywhere. I know I should be running events. I know I should be doing this. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, that it's not happening because there's a gap. And to be fully transparent, Kylie, we all have those, right? So I'm
Yes.
consistently working with coaches and mentors and people who are ahead of me, because if I wanted to be at that next level, why am I not there? Right. And
Right.
so I know that somewhere there's something missing or something I haven't learned or don't know about. And so you have to keep your mind always open to there's things you don't know. That's
Right.
the power of working with a mentor or a coach or a consultant, someone who's been there, done it, and they can help you execute. That's the big difference, and hold you accountable to do it in the right way.
I love that because for me, I teach the same thing. I preach the same thing. Listen, mentors, mentors and coaches, if you choose the right one. I mean, we know a lot of people out there that say they're coaches, and I I wouldn't. Yeah,
Be
that's.
careful.
I know I was really picking my words, so I'm just going to zip it up. But you haven't picked the right coach, and you're not willing to spend the money to get the right coach or mentor. But when you do, and you listen, and you go all in, you know how much money and time you will
God.
actually save.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And
unbelievable.
I know, and I'm going to ask you this because back in your day, whenever the day is, whenever,
Mhm.
you can probably count how many times you made mistakes. I know I can. I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I could have just
No,
saved
I probably
myself.
can't count them if you want to know the truth. I can't count them. It's too many.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I became a business coach, Kylie,
yeah.
because I worked with one in my last two businesses, and it was such a game changer. I thought, where has this been through all my other businesses, all my life? I even thought I knew what I was doing, and I had success.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine where I would have been with all of those businesses if I would have had someone with real experience and
Yeah.
knowledge that could have guided me. And we have that opportunity today. I always say, look, you can take, if you are in business and you want to grow, you can take the horse and buggy, figure it out, do it, try it yourself, don't invest, or you can take the jet plane.
Right.
That's what we are. We're the jet plane.
Yeah. Yeah. And that jet plane, hello, gets you there faster. And in the end, it probably saves you money. So one way or the other, you're going
Oh,
to spend the time,
100%.
you're going to spend the money.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Yes.
Do it right and level up your game.
Yeah.
I love it, Ann. I love it. And I can't wait to help promote your workshop. So that's
Thank you.
awesome. And I hope that we will be able to meet each other in person. And I hope to see you again on LinkedIn. We'll be sure that everybody's got all the links for this show. And I'm really, really just happy to have you.
Thanks so much, Kylie. It was so much fun. Always love
Awesome.
seeing you.
You got it. So everybody, the Entrepreneurs Hangout podcast is always the same place, same time, Wednesday at 3 EST. And so we're going to say bye for now.
Bye-bye, everyone.